It's a bit ironic that I'm filming a book haul video after saying in my top 5 books to read in 2024 that I will try to tackle my physical TBR, but to be fair, I got these books over a longer period of time. I think it was around September last year when I realized I have more than 30 books at home that I haven't read yet, so instead of accumulating more, I was focusing on reading what I already own. With some success, which I'm proud of, to be honest. But with the new year and me starting a new job, I couldn't help but treat myself just a little, and I cannot wait to show the books to you. First up, there's a book that I got myself as a little Christmas present after hearing one of my favorite booktokers, Sam from Sam Falling's books, rave about it, titled What the River Knows. Spoiler alert, this was my last read of 2023, so you will hear my full thoughts about it in an upcoming reading wrap-up. But what convinced me to pick it up was largely the setting, 19th century Egypt with traces of ancient magic, archaeological sites brimming with mysteries, as our protagonist Inez searches for clues about her parents' disappearance. The fact that there is an infuriatingly handsome archaeologist assistant that is tasked with keeping an eye on Inez is really just a cherry on the top. Surely that cannot be the reason why I jumped into the story so quickly, right? What the River Knows is a tale of self-discovery, mystery, and not quite rivals to lovers, but more like reluctant allies to lovers while investigating some mystery kind of dynamic, which should appeal to fans of Divine Rivals and Rebecca Ross in general. I have to say, it's not quite as strong on the Egyptian mythology aspect as I would have liked, but it was a fast-paced, fun little YA historical fantasy with a unique setting and a gorgeous cover, so I'm happy to have it on my shelves. Apart from being influenced by BookTok, I was also influenced by my local book club friend who recommended The Kingfisher books when I shared that I was kind of in a reading slump. And Nettle and Bone is a standalone fantasy below 350 pages. I believe I placed the order like half an hour after reading her message. Of course I had to get it. Looking at the cover, vibe-wise, it might be more suited toward autumn, but that never stopped me from enjoying dark fantasy at basically any time of the year. Based on what I gathered about it, Nettle and Bone is centered around themes of sisterhood and perseverance, as the main character Mara is looking to rescue her sister from an abusive prince. But she is not doing it alone. Apparently she has quite an interesting crew of misfits around her, consisting of a grave witch, a reluctant fairy godmother, a strapping former knight, and the chicken possessed by a demon. I expect this book to put some unique spins on the usual fantasy hero stories, so let's see how it will live up to the hype. As I got such a nice recommendation from my book club friend, let me know your top picks for curing a reading slump. Share it with me in the comments below please, and let's support each other. I could say that the plot drew me to this next book, but I would be lying. It was mostly the cover and knowing the author Alex E. Harrow. I'm currently reading her other work, The 10,000 Doors of January, because obviously it is January, and now her newest book, The Starling House, is also joining my TBR. I read her short story, The Six Deaths of the Saint, last summer, and her gripping writing style blew me away, so it's safe to say I have high hopes for this one. Starling House is described as a fantasy story with gothic elements, and everything revolves around the mysterious Starling House, and this is already checking so many boxes for things I enjoy in books. So when I saw that there might also be found family involved and the main character goes through an emotional journey of self-discovery, that really sealed the deal for me. Side note, as a non-native English speaker, I had to look up what a starling is, and it's actually the bird also featured on the cover, so now I'm super intrigued how it connects with the lore of the Haunted Mansion. I'm only 1 year late to the party, because Hellbent was released January 2023, and now it's January 2024, but finally I've gotten around to picking up a physical copy of it. Not gonna lie, the cover still creeps me out, so I have it on my shelf with the spine facing outwards, and I will try not to think too much about the rabbit's eyes and stuff. I had a good time with Ninth House, but somehow I wasn't in a hurry to dive into the sequel right away. Who am I kidding? I'm never in the hurry to dive into any sequels. I think I have around 50 or so series that I've read in the last few years, but only the first book and never the second. And some I rated 5 stars, so there's no excuse there. To try to build a habit of reading sequels of my highest rated reads, I plan to do a video where I do exactly that, and Hellbent will also be featured there, hopefully. In case you haven't heard much about the book, here Alex's journey at Yale takes a literal downturn as she heads into hell for a rescue mission together with a team of dubious allies. And you know how well Leigh Bardugo writes the dynamics among a group of characters that team up for something. Six of Crows. I'm expecting this story to be full of plot twists, gothic mystery, excellent character building, and some eerie demons, as we already got a taste of that in Ninth House. I'm especially curious how the depiction of hell will go, given the whole Virgil and Dante role situation, and if there will be any references to Divine Comedy. And the last book follows the same idea. A River Enchanted was among the top 5 books I read in 2023, so it's only right that I got a Fire Endless on my physical TBR. I said it before, but I love the covers. The second one maybe even more, with the bold red flames, the golden details, and the flower motifs. I liked the ending of A River Enchanted because we got some answers, but it still built the anticipation for what's gonna happen next, rather than ending on a cliffhanger. Sometimes I have a feeling that a cliffhanger became the easy way out when it comes to book endings, because it prolongs the conflicts and tension in the next book, but that sometimes gives the feeling that there wasn't enough to write about, and the second book can feel repetitive. Do you agree? So I was grateful that A River Enchanted wasn't like that. In A Fire Endless, we follow our previous 4 main characters on the mystical island of Cadence, as they now grapple with new challenges, both personal and spiritual, literally, as the spirit of the North Wind disrupts the fragile balance of magic. I love the world Rebecca Ross built here. It is somehow both cozy and dark, whimsical and tension-filled, and super immersive as she paints the atmosphere with sound-focused imagery. Going back to this story will be like sinking into a warm bath, and I'm really looking forward to it. So these were all the books I got myself in the last couple of weeks. I'm pretty happy with my little stack, and you will see them in more detail in upcoming videos and reading wrap-ups. What book did you get recently that you cannot wait to read? Tell me in the comments below, and see you in my next video. Until then, take care, bye!